Welcome to the New Hollywood Show. So thankful to be able to bring you the show every Monday night, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. Hey, I know we've been off for a couple of weeks, but hey, Happy New Year to you. We are back, and we got a lot to talk about. Productions moving out of California. They're trying to stop them, but it's going to be tough. We're going to talk about that today. Meta's Mark Zuckerberg getting rid of fact checkers. Wouldn't that be nice? All right, we're going to talk about that. And workplace misconduct at Fox Sports. Big thing boiling over there. We're going to talk about that and we're going to get into a whole lot more as well. So don't go away. We'll be right back. It's going to be fun. Hello, free thinkers, Hollywood professionals, and creatives worldwide. I am Tatum Shank. We are Hollywood for Freedom, and this is our podcast to stay connected with you, our community of free thinking industry professionals and fellow like-minded patriots. Look, as creatives, you know you're responsible for shaping the hearts and minds of our culture. What you create matters, and what we believe matters, which is this. We believe wholesome ideals and traditional values will create a healthy culture. All right, we believe in personal autonomy, freedom, and responsibility. Being a free thinker is crucial. And we believe you can be a healthy creative working in Hollywood, or better yet, in the new Hollywood that we're creating. All right, now look, if you're not yet a member of our database, please go to our website, HollywoodForFreedom.com, and join us there for free. Be a part of the movement, all right? Our strength is in our numbers, so please join us. And look, we're going to talk about it today, but big tech, they're going to be on our case. I mean, they're censoring us. They've been censoring us. It's been crazy. Maybe something's changing. We're going to talk about that a little bit today, but to be safe, please find us on Rumble and X, where we can speak freely for sure of censorship. And we are also now on Apple Podcasts as well, if you want to just listen in, but you're going to miss a lot of visuals if you're just listening. But if you want to, find us there, Apple Podcast. Click on the links in the description to join us. Share those links with others as well. Give us those thumbs up. We love all that stuff. That's all helpful. All right. Got to get into the show here today. It's going to be fun. Bringing in my co-host today. First of all, first out of the gate, he is a co-founder of Hollywood for Freedom. He is the producer of the show, making this thing run, making this thing happen. He is the always dapper Mr. Timothy Glover. Hi, Tim.
Hey, Tatum. How you doing? It's New Year. We're really excited about what this new year is going to bring. I think Hollywood for Freedom had a great end to last year with the podcast launching. It's doing amazing. And so I'm looking forward to seeing all that's to come in 2025.
Very good. Yes. Thank you for that. Little plug to Hollywood for Freedom podcast. And of course,
what else?
The new Hollywood show. We're here doing it. This is awesome. Yeah, no, very dapper, Tim. Very dapper. All right. With us today as well, he is also a co-founder of Hollywood for Freedom. He's an actor, a producer, and we will always be Marshals for life. He is Siaka Massaquoi.
That's dang right. That's dang right, Tatum. Marshals for life. What's up, fellas? Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. All that good stuff. Happy Hanukkah to our Jewish friends out there. We are back, and we are going to be talking about some interesting things. I'm excited.
It's good. Speaking of Marshals for life, Tim, throw up the photo. Throw it up.
You have it?
Yeah, throw it up. You got it?
Where is it? Come on, please.
I know you got it.
I got it.
Give it to us.
Something's going on. Let me just cut to it. So here we go. And ready?
Yeah, go.
Oh, man. Look at those young kids. Look at those kids. And one of them was still had the same one color in his hair. And the other guy was not a insurrectionist. It's so amazing. Look at you.
That's for you,
It took
buddy.
him like 8 seconds. That was pretty good.
That was pretty good.
I got my vest. Look at this. Like I said, I got my vest. Look, Marshals for life vest.
Good for you.
I should have. Where's my badge? I forgot. I should have had a badge hanging around.
I think part of my release is that I can't wear bulletproof vests. So
you can't wear what?
No
bulletproof vests.
Yeah, no, I'm joking.
Wow.
I know. I just gotta go out there naked, baby. I gotta just. It's not naked because I got the armor of God. Let's go.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. So we were
look at these young guys. Look at these young.
I know,
guys.
right? So just for that,
in shape. I don't know what happened to that shirt.
The viewing audience, guys, we were my gosh, 7, 8 years ago now.
Yeah.
Siaka and I met 2017, met on the set of the TV show Lethal Weapon series, season 1, the final episode of that series, the season 1 Lethal Weapon, the TV show. So we played marshals, U.S. Marshals, and that's where we met, and we kind of kept a relationship from that one day on set together. It was awesome. Yeah, we were sitting in the truck. Remember, they were firing bullets,
they were firing blanks at us and everything. Yeah. What was great was, or not great, what kind of sucked. So that was one of my first guest spots that I ever got involved in, and I was like really just thirsty to get involved in more TV, right? Because that's where you can move up your career, make money, all that good stuff. And in the script for the audition, it was Marshall 1, Marshall 2, and it had us in 2 scenes, right? And then to cut corners, those bastards. They cut corners. They ended up cutting out. They cut me out of the first part of the scene, which was taking the criminal from the courtroom to the elevator, because we were supposed to have a little something in there. Yeah. And then we had it. So it was supposed to be 2 scenes we were supposed to be in together, but they were like, "Oh no, we're only going to need 1, and it's cheaper that way." Yeah. And I lost out on the whole other scene with you, buddy.
I got the lucky draw there. Yeah, I got to be in the elevator and walking out the bad guy, the big fish. They caught the big fish or whatever.
They caught the big fish.
Yeah.
And Riggs and Riggs is the one that got him out. He's the one that like kind of attacked our van, military style. Got him out. A cool thing is we did get to run out and draw our weapons, so that was kind of cool.
That was good. Yeah, there was smoke and everything. There was all kinds of smoke and stuff.
It was really cool.
That was cool. Anyways,
that was the closest to my house that I ever had to go to set. It was like 15 minutes right around the corner from my house. It was great.
Yeah, and it's so funny because there was a train. It was right by the train track.
Right.
We were they didn't. The train track was live. It was they didn't stop the train, and they were filming, and I remember this specifically. It was really cool because they were filming, and somebody's like, "Oh, the train's coming!" Like the director, I remember the director yelling, "Roll it, roll it, roll it!" Yeah, because he wanted to do the scene with the train going by. So he was like, "That was free production value, man." That
was cool. But also remember, we drove around for a while to do the scene. So they had us driving through the I think it was a Target parking lot, and they turned us back around, and we're just like, we're supposed to be driving. So that's how they do it in Hollywood. They set up the cameras in front, and then they basically have a tow truck, a bed truck you're sitting on, and they just drive around, and you're just like, and you can that way you can have dialogue without paying attention to the road and putting it in risk.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was fun. Good times.
Good times.
Just before everything went crazy wacky in the Hollywood world. And
who would have known, huh? We didn't know.
Yeah, I don't know. No, right. So it was 2017, right? A couple of years before. Wow. Anyways,
the world flipped.
That's right. But here we are, and now we're creating a new Hollywood and a new, new media, new entertainment. How'd you put it, Siaka? Like ecosystem?
We got a new ecosystem for like-minded artists and creatives. This is what we're doing here at Hollywood for Freedom. So,
I think we're all sort of operating as normal in those days. But I know for me, there was always a sense that, I wonder how this thing's going to change because, we knew all the stuff that was going on under the hood, and just wondering how it was all going to change. And then who would have thought that it was going to blow up the way it did? And it's just sort of forced a whole lot of change since then.
Yeah.
Wow.
And now here we are back, doing the podcast and staying connected with the community. Over 600 members in our database currently. And if you want to become a partner, I want you guys to, seriously consider partnering with us to keep this show going, and keep it even $25 a month. If you're a partner at $25 a month, that consistent income coming in is going to help us keep this show up and running. And so we ask you to please partner with us here at H4F, Hollywood for Freedom. Go to the website. You can hit the donate button there, become a member, a monthly member, 25, 50, $100, whatever you guys can do. Every little bit's going to help us keep the lights on here and keep the show going and keep bringing this content and the interviews and stuff to you guys. So we appreciate your support. there are those out there supporting us, and we're so thankful for that. Keep that going. We want more of you guys to do the same, and we appreciate you guys, every single one of you guys that are doing that. So thank you so much. All right, guys. Tim's poll. We got to get Tim's poll in here so we can get some comments going. This will be a good one.
What do we got this week?
Yeah, it's a tough one. But it's an important one.
Yeah. I think this is a cool one. We talked about this earlier, and we just wanted to ask our viewers, do you support Mel Gibson's plan to expose all the pedophiles, groomers, and human traffickers in Hollywood? Kind of a serious question, but a good one, and I think a pertinent one at this time. So.
Wow.
Absolutely.
It's a big one.
Wow. Yeah.
Look, what do you think, people? What do you think?
Right. Woo. Yeah. Put it in the chat. Whenever you're watching this, drop that in the chat. You support that? I mean, I 100% support it. I mean, it's just like, it's horrible with things that are going on out there. And, speaking of children,
it's a family program.
It's a family show.
You got the kids over there screaming.
Awesome.
It's funny you guys say that. I haven't seen anything recently about Mel, but I know he's been saying that stuff, and a few different actors have been saying this, that they're going to expose. I mean, I always like to say like a specific shout out to Corey Haim, who's been consistent with his message. I know no names have been dropped, but I kind of believe, and I want to run this by you guys really quick as we talk about this poll. I kind of believe that they're setting it up for some big stings, because Elon Musk retweeted the 158 Democrats that voted against removing an illegal for sex crimes. And that vote was back in September. And if anyone really understands the news cycle, you don't really go 4 months back to be like, hey, remember this? It's usually, it's something that happened the day before, day after, right? So the fact that they're bringing it back up, I see it has traction on X and, on YouTube and on Instagram. So I kind of believe that. And one of the things that Trump did when he first got in office, he had 3 huge stings in the first 90 days, pedophile stings. I think it was like 3,400, 32, and like 2,900 people within the first 3 months. So, we still have 320 kids missing. Holman said he's going to look to find them. I really think that they're getting us ready for some gnarly stuff. Yeah,
I agree. I think it's we're in the lull at the moment, just prior to the administration coming in and all of these sort of things kicking off. So yeah, there's hints about it, and that's why I'm interested to hear whether it's on people's radar and whether we really think it's going to happen.
Yeah. So, drop it in the chat. I expect to see 100% support for that. But, if you don't support it, let us know. Give us a reason. Why wouldn't you support him doing this? But, again, communicate with us and we'll take a look at those either on Rumble, X, YouTube, wherever you're watching this. Just drop in the chat. We'll see it. And we'll talk more about that. But hey, listen, whether you're an industry professional or a H4F supporter, remember to go to our website, HollywoodForFreedom.com, and join our database for free. Become a part of the movement. Our strength is in our numbers. Make sure you're clicking on the links now to join us on Rumble and X as well. And don't forget to follow us for notifications of our weekly show. Apple Podcast, we're on there too. So don't forget that. Want to listen in as well, you can do that. So, all right, guys. Well, what do you say we jump into some industry news and notes with the good, the bad, and the ugly of the industry?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, the good, the bad, and the ugly of the industry, and not necessarily in that order. I got the first one up here. This is an article from Screen Daily. There's a new coalition that advocates keeping production in California amid runaway concerns. California Production Coalition, an advocacy group of 33 small businesses, studios, and professional organizations, has launched to keep production in Hollywood. The launch comes amid growing concern over runaway production to other states and international jurisdictions, offering more competitive incentives. And nearly 2 months after California Governor Gavin Newsom proposed to double the state's film and TV tax incentives to $750 million. According to California Production Coalition, while the Golden State's unmatched workforce, experienced production community, first-class infrastructure, and rich mix of natural beauty and compelling locations remain a powerful draw for productions, the highly valuable incentives offered by other localities, which can be more than triple the amount available to produce in California, are challenging the landscape and undermining the business case for shooting in the state. All right, guys. So here's the deal. I mean, they're trying to keep productions here, but they are flying out of town faster than whistling Dixie on a locomotive. Yeah, right. I mean, yeah. So, but here's the thing. Like, I mean, it might be a lost cause at this point. Like, I mean, I know that like there's a ton of production that gets done here over the years. And I mean, you see some of the numbers, even in this article, they're talking about the percentage of loss over time. And it's really, it's a massive thing, right? To be the film hub of the country and to just feel that slipping away. I think there's people trying to, it may be too late. It may be too late to really save it. I mean, there's so many other places out there that are doing really good work and creating studios and space. And, you know, I mean, we've talked about it before on the show, but whether you're in Tennessee or you're in Georgia or you're in Florida or you're in Nevada, right? The new studios they're building there. Shoot, even Warner Brothers is building, remember we talked about that, building something in Vegas, right? Like even the big boys are heading out. Like it's crazy, man. Like, what do you guys think? What do you guys takes?
Siaka? You want me to go?
You know, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple of ways to think about it. The fact that they're chasing all these incentives, there's two ways I sort of think about it. One is that they're chasing these incentives to keep this massive turd afloat, just to put it in a really crude way. That's one way. You know, they've got the only way they're keeping this thing afloat when they're not getting the ratings that they are expecting. They're losing so much money through flops, and they're losing so much money through these streaming endeavors, is to go to the government for handouts. That's the best way to do it, right? And so there's that. And then the other way of thinking about it is that this is just another way that the top tier look to extend their profits at the expense of the workers. And, I don't know. I know it's good for other people in other states. Other filmmakers and other people get opportunities to work, but it means that people in LA are flying out of town all the time, working in these situations. And, it's, I don't know if it's in the best interest of the industry doing it, but I realize that it's a complex issue, but I kind of tend to err on the side of suspicion with all of these things. Yeah. So that's how I take it.
Well, I actually think, look, I like that they're going to try, and that's, at least they're trying to put effort in to keep it going, but they're missing the point because, like you said, it's not just, you don't give us good enough incentives. It's the quality of living here or living there in California that has been part of the issue between crime, taxes is one of the highest taxes, not the highest tax. I mean, it's the highest gas tax state. So we were just joking about, that day on Lethal Weapon, it being only 15 minutes away. It's like, I know most of us, there's an area called Ocean Park for auditions, and that's in Santa Monica. If you live in Hollywood or in North Hollywood or Valley like we did, that's an hour drive. And now, in LA, when gas got to $5, $6, $7, just to go to audition to hope you can get it work, it's going to cost you about $60, $70 just to go. Is there a chance? Is there a chance that maybe I can get work? So, I think they're missing the overall, like the real issue on why people are leaving. And it's not, you don't give us enough incentives, because also those incentives and tax breaks, they still come from the taxpayer, right? Yeah. So it's like, they can film something, but it's going to hit us. And I think the other side of it is just like DC and how the Trump administration wants to move some of these agencies around to the country instead of keep it localized in DC. I think the entertainment industry needs to spread out and not just have East or West Coast perception on Americanism and American stories. And you have a play. I just shot something almost a month ago now in Kentucky. And so to be able to go out there, Kentucky, Tennessee, like you said, Georgia, I think it's actually we're going to get back to more rich American stories, and that's very important. So I'm kind of happy to see it follow.
But the independent space at that level are not the ones that are getting all these tax incentives. It's the big studios that are mining all these states for their tax incentives. And I'm just not convinced it's good for the people. Like you say, the tax essentially comes from the people. So we're paying on the front end, we're paying on the back end, we're paying in the middle. It's just, I think it's just and none of those profits really trickle down either. You know, when they're making a 40% tax rebate off that production, they're just these guys are pocketing that money. And I realize that, without these incentives, maybe the productions wouldn't be so big, that maybe they wouldn't have the budgets. But again, it comes back to the fact that they're trying to prop up the content that they're making, rather than changing the content and doing content that the people are actually asking for. They're continuing down this path and then just asking for a handout along the way. So
right. I think it's like you're saying, it's like Band-Aid on holes on a sinking ship.
Yeah, it's a giant turd.
Unfortunately, it's a giant turd. It's going down,
people.
I think that's, but I think that's the main point too, as far as like what we're doing here. We need people supporting people that are putting out good content, stuff with moral compass, things that are, like getting back to the storytelling where it's, it's rich and vibrant, and it's something you want to watch and be part of. And I think that's what we're doing here. Like Siaka, like we were talking about, like creating
we'll create that space, because the more support, the more we grow. And also, I think people can miss that, like when you have an organization like us, Hollywood for Freedom, the more members that we get, the more actors and writers and everyone that builds up. Now we can also dictate how production can move. It's really how SAG works, right? But now you have people in a position where they're of like mind, they're freedom motivated. So that can actually help. So we get more products and more production out there that we want to see for our families and our children.
For sure. Yeah. So, again, if you're watching this, and share it with other people. I mean, share our links with people, share the show with people, to copy the link and text it to people and just say, hey, check out these guys. They're doing something different outside of Hollywood. And we just got to get the word out. We just got to get people to, grassroots this thing more and more, and just keep sharing what we're doing with other people. So, all right, let's move on. Let's go to the next topic here. Speaking of, whatever we were talking about. we were. There's no transition. We're going to talk about Mark Zuckerberg and Meta and the get rid of fact checkers. That would be helpful, actually. That's the connection. There we go. If you can get rid of those fact checkers. What do you got, Tim?
Yeah, so this is an article in Deadline. In another bow to Donald Trump, Meta's Mark Zuckerberg says it will end fact checking on Facebook and Instagram. With less than 2 weeks before Donald Trump takes office, Meta's Mark Zuckerberg announced a series of changes to its content moderation practices on Facebook and Instagram, including ending fact-checking and other restrictions. Zuckerberg said that the fact-checking would be replaced by a more comprehensive community notes system similar to the one that has been deployed by Elon Musk since he purchased Twitter, later renamed X. Zuckerberg also suggested that Meta would work with the Trump administration to push back on governments around the world that are going after American companies and pushing to censor more. He also unveiled plans to base the US content review teams in Texas rather than in California, where there is less concern about the bias of our teams. Yeah, so crazy. This is big. This is really big news. Literally came out last week, and This is really pertinent to Hollywood for Freedom because a lot of our members, including us, really banded together when over the 2020 season election, were all censored. Many of us were cast off Facebook. Even Hollywood for Freedom itself has been shadow banned on Instagram. And so this is huge. It's a huge move by Zuckerberg. And even the way the Deadline put it. In fact, they had a typo in their article. If you read the article, I say typo. I'm not sure it's a typo. It may actually be an intentional mistake. But they sort of mixed up the wording to say that Zuckerberg said we're going back to our roots and focus on reducing mistakes, simplifying our policies, and reducing free expression on our platforms. And that's not what he said at all. And that's right up front. That's like the second paragraph that they've got in there. They just happen to make these little, errors.
Wait a minute.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
But yeah, this is huge. The article is negative in terms of they try and say that Trump opposed legacy media organizations. How can Zuckerberg partner with the Trump organization when they've gone after legacy media? And we all know why Trump went after legacy media. But this is getting rid of fact checking. Facebook were so huge in censoring people off Facebook using this fact-checking idea. And so to retract that and to even come into alignment with Elon and X is a very, very interesting take.
Yeah, and I mean, I think even in the article it said at one point there it said something about they interviewed Trump, said, "Why do you think he's doing this? And do you think it's because you've threatened him?" And Trump said, "Yeah, probably." He's scared. Which is pretty funny to me. I thought that
he's a bit of a chameleon. I think Zuckerberg. I get the feeling.
Yeah.
I can't read that guy.
No.
Yeah.
No, I think I can read him. He goes where the winds, the political financial winds blow. And I saw like 2 years ago when he started getting involved with UFC fighters and training. I could tell he was shifting. He was trying to shift his public persona to make him kind of look like a tough dude. And I'm like, yeah, but you're censoring people about the laptop, about COVID and all that. So I think, and he went and look, especially as a Christian, he is changing his position. So until I see otherwise, all I can do is continue to hope and accept that he is taking a different path, right? I did see some things line up before that was set up. I mean, at the end of the day, to me, I'm always like, especially for a man, you put your money where your mouth is, or your values are. And he spent $240-some million in 2020 election to help Democrats win. So you told me what you're about. Right. Now, in this move, I know anytime we would post anything from Hollywood for Freedom and share it with each other, it would instantaneously get shrunk. Like, you sit there and you got 6,000 followers, but 24 people saw your post. Like, just out of fairness, that's not even cool. And I really think that, as Deadspin, the way they framed it bow to Trump, these people are the real communists and the real fascists, because for him to go to more of a free speech platform is somehow bowing to one man, not, I don't know, the ideals that is this country, that are this country. Like, it's really wild how they frame it, because they, to me, dislike what America truly offers. And I think also they know they can't compete in a marketplace of ideas, because authenticity is what's really going to be the currency moving forward. And they're so fake.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fake is a good word to describe them, right? Like, it's so fake. It's crazy. All right, Tim, you got something there? You were going to say something?
Well, Deadline's way of, wording these things, they also say Facebook and Instagram have grappled with how to handle the widespread dissemination of false information and lies on their platform. It's very antagonistic, and then they say, particularly when it comes to when it comes from public officials. Trump's Meta accounts were suspended following the Jan 6 in 2021 attack on the Capitol, given his praise for those who engaged in violence. You know.
No, he never did that.
Yeah, he never did
That's
that,
a lie.
right? But they just keep pushing this, you know.
Dude, the thing that's so crazy is like they're saying it out loud without really saying it, that, oh, especially certain officials. Okay, so wait a minute.
Yeah.
You, reporter at Deadspin, knows more than a Republican congressperson that's in office, but a Democrat congressperson in office, that's just true. We're not even questioning that.
They're an expert.
But the other side, it's like, it's this way. They're telling you exactly, no, one side of the fence is inherently wrong and they don't have the facts, and the other side does, so only listen to them. I give it like probably till the middle of March before Deadspin has to shut his doors down. I'm calling it now. That could be Siaka's poll.
That's a good one.
Would Deadspin make it past March?
What do you think about him moving the review team to Texas? What does that say? What do you think that says?
I mean, if you're in Dallas and Houston, it's still the same place, right? So in Austin, it's still kind of the same liberal place. I think a lot of that stuff, like Elon moving, it looks cool because Texas always has that feel. Like it's like California, right? And like we'd be like, come to California, we do have conservatives. Everyone's like, not really. And it's like Texas, it seemed like big guns and support. I just think it's like getting a fresh new start, and it's again going back to him with fighting with the UFC, training with UFC guys. Look, I'm not liberal East West Coast. I'm Heartland America, and so you just open it up and let people actually follow us honestly. That's all I actually care about. I don't care what side he really stands on. Just, I think we win in the idea marketplace.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think him talking about the mistakes for me, when he says mistakes, all these mistakes are, come on, you were literally targeting specific people. Like, what mistakes? Like, that's not a mistake. That's
you got to blame the algorithm. It was the algorithm.
Yeah, it's not. It's bull.
Yeah.
They were targeting. It's ridiculous. Okay. All right, guys, let's move on. Let's go.
He was like complex systems. We have a lot of complex systems.
Who knows?
And here's the easiest thing to do, Mr. Complex System. It's no to porn. And that's it.
Right.
Let everybody else speak. Like, it's literally only really one thing. One thing is like porno, which you let run rampant on there. Everything else is speech. So what?
Yeah.
It's wild.
It's like the elections when they go, it was a a technical malfunction. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
18 million
In California counting for like another month and a half.
Miscalculation. Gotcha. All right. Well, Siaka, you got something for us. Workplace misconduct at Fox Sports.
Yeah.
Wow. This is going to blow up. What do we got?
This is juicy, guys, and this is not just for clickbait. This actually, I think, affects our whole industry. So, a stunning accusation from the Fox Sports workplace misconduct lawsuit. Check this out. On Sunday, news broke that Fox Sports, several prominent on-air personalities and executives have been named defendants in a wide-ranging workplace misconduct lawsuit filed in California. The suit brought by former Fox Sports hairstylist Newsom Fahaji, who worked at the company for over a decade, details allegations of sexual harassment from former FS1 host Skip Bayless and Fox Sports executive Charlie Dixon, along with racially insensitive comments from current FS1 host Joy Taylor. Then, after several years of Bayless was initiating advances towards her, Fahaji confronted the undisputed host about health issues she had developed in an effort to cease any further harassment. In July 2021, Ms. Fahaji developed issues with her left ovary and was advised it could be cancer. With the fourth biopsy scheduled, she explained her situation to Mr. Bayless, hoping that he would take pity on her and cease his advances. Instead, Mr. Bayless told her that he wanted to be with her. Ms. Fahaji panicked and began to rambling about there were cameras everywhere, that she has a child, that she does not want him. Mr. Bayless then grabbed her hands, began kissing them, and offered her $1.5 million to have sex. Mrs. Fahaji made an excuse to leave. Mr. Bayless then told Ms. Fahaji that he fantasized about having sex with her and asked how much money it would take for him to have sex with him. Ms. Fahaji stated that she already refused $1.5 million, that her answer was not going to change. Mr. Bayless replied, "The more you say no, the more I want you," before landing her major role as a hostess and moderator of Undisputed. Fahaji alleges that Joy Taylor engaged in sexual relationship with Charlie Dixon, the Fox executive responsible for the content decisions to secure the position. According to the lawsuit, this alleged arrangement helped Taylor secure the job, but ultimately contributed to the breakdown of her marriage shortly after tying the knot. In approximately May 2016, Ms. Taylor asked Mrs. Fahaji to meet for drinks in Santa Monica. When Mrs. Fahaji arrived, they found Ms. Taylor with an older man, Fox Sports Executive Vice President of Content, Mr. Dixon. As Executive Vice President, Mr. Dixon is responsible for the overseeing all content and production on FS1. Ms. Fahaji, however, did not know Mr. Dixon. From the body language, Ms. Fahaji suspected the pair were sleeping with each other, and although that this concerned Ms. Fahaji, she knew Ms. Taylor was recently married, as Ms. Fahaji kept her opinion to herself. Mr. Bayless later disclosed to Ms. Fahaji that he did not want Ms. Taylor on the show, but Mr. Dixon was adamant that Ms. Taylor should star. At first, Mr. Dixon arranged a dinner between Bayless and Ms. Taylor, where she arrived in a provocative clothing and acted in a provocative manner. When that did not change Mr. Bayless's opinion of Ms. Taylor, Mr. Dixon asked to approve her as a favor to him. Reluctantly, Mr. Bayless agreed to do so as a favor to his friend. Woo! Woo-wee! Spicy stuff. Now, the reason why it wasn't just I wanted to talk about this article wasn't just to talk about some crazy sexual rumors going around. I think it's indicative of the woke culture and how far we've really gone. And as you hear in allegations, this woman was married. This woman that had little to no experience on TV, little to no experience about sports, is now going out and, in a sense, selling her body in order to move up the ladder. And then later on, that wasn't an article, but that was actually in the filing, stated that when she was sleeping with another on-air talent, she said that her friend Ms. Fahaji had mentioned that, it's not a good idea to sleep with this guy and this guy. The boss will get mad. She goes, well, if that happens, I'll just go to HR and say he tried to force himself on me and get him out because I have power now. So it goes to this part that we want to get back to of meritocracy and the woke push to get females in any and all spaces, as if that's just the way, that's been a problem, to not have them sitting down with a Hall of Fame football player and a lifelong sports journalist. A woman needs to be there is not inherently true. And now we're seeing, because of the workplace environment of a place like Fox Sports, and I would beg to guess in these other places, especially Disney run ESPN, that they're giving opportunities to these women, not because they are qualified. And if they are, things like this with Joy Taylor, who's going around talking about, as a black woman, I have to work twice as hard to get where I'm at. No, you slept with people. And so now those young girls and women who were buying your story now are sitting there and people won't take them as seriously. But it was all been a lie. And I personally believe, let men have their spaces too. Like, let men have NFL football. Let men have NBA basketball. Like, there is the WNBA and there's other stuff to do, but why does it always need to be in this situation? And now you're listening to a woman who has, as Jason Whitlock was saying, huge rack and caramel skin, and yet she's saying nothing of value about the sport you're trying to watch or you're trying to, get more off of. And so it waters down the product, and I think it creates an environment that becomes like this. And what they're doing at FS1 is no different than Harvey Weinstein, is no different than the Hollywood system, and how these people, and a lot of men and women, have jumped the line because they sell their body. As Jesus said in Matthew, what good does it do a man to gain the whole world, lose his soul in the process? And unfortunately, she lost her marriage. Now she's going to be losing her reputation as well. And this is kind of what happens. That's why we got to move away from this stuff.
Yeah, it's a big, it would be nice, right, if we just hired people based on their experience and what they knew and not what they look like and what they think, it's, I agree with you, Siaka, definitely. Like it's, if you don't know a thing about football, why you talk to me about football? You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to hear, I grew up playing football. I'm a big football fan. I know all about, when they make up crazy new rules with like kickoffs this season. Like I'm like, why are you doing that crazy stuff? Like, I know about that. Right. But it's because I've been watching football my whole life and I played football and it's a part of who I am. And I have knowledge, right? Like I have that, and you're just hiring people because they look good on camera. Like, takes away the purpose.
Well, now we know not just look good on camera, but gives it up.
Well,
like gives it up. That's the big part. Not just look good. It's selling their bodies.
Yeah.
Like a prostitute. Like, come on.
Yeah,
not good.
I would say Miss Faraji needs to come and join Hollywood for Freedom. Because our membership is made up of people who refuse to work in an environment like that, who have taken a stand when things like that come their way and are just not going to bow to that kind of thing anymore. And I think she was actually quite brave through it, and she held the line. When this other Miss Taylor was doing all the wrong things, she was selling her body, doing all the things that she shouldn't be doing to get ahead and cutting the line, and really blackmailing the Fox executives. It's not all her. The Fox executives are just as bad. It's all horrendous. Right. But it's for as long as there's guys like that, the Mr. Dixon as executives in Fox running the show there, it's never going to change. The Fox leadership needs to come down hard and clean out all that sort of stuff, because they're you can't tell me they didn't know what's going on. It also says that Mr. Dixon had his wife on the payroll to keep her silent because she knew about the affairs and everything that he was doing, and so she was on the Fox payroll. I mean, how does she get on the Fox payroll? This is corrupt as anything.
She knew a lot about football, apparently.
Well, it's the leadership of Fox, that are just as complicit in all of this stuff. They perpetuate this, and then they have the audacity to preach to us about the Me Too thing and women's rights and all this stuff. It's all false. It's all fake. It's baloney. It just, and it's virtue signaling, and it's all hollow. It doesn't mean anything.
Well, and to your point, there's a guy, his name was Sam Ocho. That was the other on-air personality that Joyce allegedly started to sleep with in order to, get a show with him. And he actually did a video praising her, like, as a black woman who does sports and do you guys know how hard it is? And you should give her a lot of love. And I'm sitting there looking at that. And now too, I think we understood the woke kind of language was just really fake and weak anyway. Now this is even more proof that these people, and Ocho had his platform blew up. He was able to go on TV with Oprah talking about, being black and oppressed in America. He was on Good Morning America spewing that same race hustler stuff. He's been on actually MSNBC spitting that same thing, and they love it because he's saying all the right things. I just see right now, man, like I hope and I really believe, because this goes to we talked about earlier with Mel Gibson, that P. Diddy list, eventually that Epstein list, and to expose these people, I really believe will break the spell that they've had on the culture, that people stop and listen to everything they say, that, these young black girls are going, as a young black woman, my life is always in danger. No, it's not. And so let's stop listening to these fools that are only doing it for money and will tell you and sell you whatever it takes to move up. It would literally suck and F their way to the top, or dangle that carrot. I know who was it? It was Jason Whitlock was talking, and he said this on. You can go watch it. He wanted a more seasoned female reporter to be on the show with him. They said, no way. She was in her 40s, and they're like, nope, because no one's attracted to her anymore. So yes, when somebody wanted a professional, earned it female on there, the higher ups told him no.
Yeah.
And so, that's what we're dealing with here. It's like, we got to stop this stuff. Like, let's move on and get back to the core of what all this is about. That's marriage.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh man! All right, yeah. Well, a lot going on there. Lots of stuff. Yeah.
How you feeling? How you feeling about that one, Tatum? You sweating? What's going on?
I feel like I'd like to get into the more of the fun of the show, right? I still got my thing on here. I got to find my badge. Where's my badge?
Oh, you have to be dodging hate later, so you might as well get that you have that on.
Oh man! But look, hey, listen. Again, we mentioned it before. Look, if you want us to continue with this content and be able to bring you stories and talk about this and get hot under the collar, here in the show, you're supporting us, right? Become a partner. Go to the website, hit the donate button, become a monthly supporter, even at $25 a month. That would be super helpful. Like we got 600 people in our database right now. If you guys, if you guys are a part of that and you're watching the show right now, help us be even more part of the movement by supporting us and being a monthly partner with us. We'd really appreciate it. So go to the website, check it out. If you are a Hollywood for Freedom supporter or an industry professional, you haven't yet joined the database, please do that as well. You can do that right there on the website, hollywoodforfreedom.com. Be clicking on those links, share these links with others. And just, help us grow this community and what we're doing here, creating that new Hollywood, building out this new ecosystem where we can do more and more projects and things like this show, the New Hollywood Show. Okay. All right, cool. Guys, I'm excited for this. I'm really excited for this. I get back to the Blast from the Past movies that we can choose. I guess I got to choose the last one. I was a little nervous, but it worked out okay. But hey, we're back. We got to choose this one. This is what we like to call our Blast from the Past movie of the week.
Good morning!
Morning!
Axel Foley, that's what it is.
You are Terminator, right?
Yes.
All right, our Blast from the Past movie of the week. I don't know if you caught the foreshadowing earlier. A little bit of foreshadowing. I don't know if you caught it, but go back and replay the show. Our Blast from the Past movie of the week this week is the original Lethal Weapon, starring Mel Gibson and Danny Glover. Oh my goodness. So good. It is a Christmas movie, by the way, as well. But hey, so we were on the Lethal Weapon, the TV series. This was the original 1987 Lethal Weapon, Mel Gibson, Danny Glover. A lot of violence. It's definitely not for kids, but it is, it was my pre-save days that I was watching this stuff and had no idea what I was watching. But I can't help love the movie and just the story and the just everything about this movie is so good. It was so fun. Danny Glover and Mel Gibson, the chemistry those two guys had together. I love Danny Glover, man. He was like, wait, what? Like Mel Gibson's just off doing crazy stuff, right? He's doing crazy things, and Danny Glover, you just see it, the pain in his face. He's like, oh my gosh, again, where are you going? What are you doing? No, why are you?
I'm getting too old for this.
Too old for this. Yeah, it was so good, man. That's good stuff. Gary Busey was the bad guy in that first one too.
That's right.
Remember the fight at the end.
That's right.
They broke a fire hydrant. So there was water spraying all over. Like when they Shane Black, when he wrote this, he was like, "How do I make it rain?" And we're in California. It doesn't rain here. How do I get this last scene in water? Like let's break a fire hydrant and have it spitting out. So there was.
That's cool.
They were fighting in the water. So good. So if you haven't seen it, Blast from the Past movie, you got to go watch Lethal Weapon. Siaka, it's a good one, right?
Dude, yeah. Oh man, my favorite scene from that movie was as a kid. I'm watching this, and the guy, Mel Gibson cuffs himself to the guy on the roof who's going to jump. He goes, "You want to jump? Let's jump!" And he does it. And I remember being like, "That's not a cop. Like he's supposed to help you." And he landed. And I remember I think it was my stepmom was like, "That's right, get him down." And I'm just like, "Oh my goodness, this is insane, but it's awesome." I actually have a pretty funny Gary Busey story. that I just thought about because I forgot that he was the main bad guy. I'm on PCH, that's Pacific Coast Highway for those who are not from California, and we're just getting off the 10 to get there, and it's bumper to bumper. And I'm driving my girlfriend at the time's BMW, and I look over, and I don't know why, but there's certain actors are just like iconic for like not because they're big superstars, but because they're kind of had like fun roles. And I look over, and his bumper on the other side, and it was Gary Busey. I go, baby, Gary Busey. And he looks over, and I smack right into the back of the car in front of me, which was like a Mercedes. Wow. Oh, yeah. And I look back at him, and he gave me this one. He's like, so yeah, that's my Gary Busey story. I'll never forget Gary Busey because I rear-ended a car after that. Luckily, it wasn't that bad.
That's so good.
Sure.
I mean, you see Lethal Weapon.
Oh, I love Lethal Weapon. It was definitely a favorite growing up for sure. And Mel Gibson, you know, being an Aussie, you know, he just had that Australian male kind of edge to him, and we used to just love that. About him. Definitely Mel Gibson's heyday. Like, I mean, look at that guy. I mean, what a beautiful man that guy is. Look at this.
Put the picture back up.
Look at that hair. Like that. He's just.
Look at that jaw.
He's just got it all. He's got it all. So.
Oh yeah. So good. Those intense eyes. You look at those crazy eyes.
The sequel, Lethal Weapon 2, almost as good as the first one. Almost. You guys remember?
Oh yeah,
it was really good.
Yeah.
They brought in that more of a comedy element with Joe Pesci. You know, his first.
Oh, that's right, Joe Pesci. He was such a favorite. Yeah,
but then you know,
that was. Yeah, those two first two can kind of stand on their own.
Good movie.
Right. Was it the second one where Joe Pesci he's going off about going through the drive-through?
Yes.
Yeah.
I used to love that scene. It's so bad. Can't quote it now though.
Yeah. So this movie is only for parents, guys. Only for the parents. Don't watch this with the kids.
Necessarily a family, but it's it's one more.
And that was also back when they had like all the punches in movies around that time sounded like they were just hurting the crowd. Like it just sounded so awesome. I was like, man, Riggs is tough.
So good. Anyways, man, so good. Well, hey, listen, that's Lethal Weapon, Blast with the Past. Go check it out. Look, if you're an industry professional again or a Hollywood Freedom supporter, go to our website, join the database for free, become a part of the movement. Don't trust, that censorship thing is going to go through. Join and follow us on Rumble and X so we know that we can share our content free of censorship. Okay. Click those follow button links, all those links in the description. Make sure you're following us, different places. And just, I just want to say, you know what? I think we just go final thoughts. We just get into final thoughts, guys, and then we're going to get out of here today. Happy New Year's show. Final thoughts for you guys. Do you have any final thoughts? Siaka, go.
Yo, what's up, guys? Support local and support new upcoming talent and organizations like ourselves. Let's help this movement continue to grow and change our culture from the inside now. Trump won the election. Now it's time for us to really do the work down here on the ground.
I got nothing.
Come on, you got a final thought? You don't have enough to do? You don't have enough to do running the show over there? Look at the Trump.
I know.
He's like,
I'm really just gone blank. I don't know.
That's
I'm
okay.
going to cut that bit out. Yeah.
No, you can't. No cutting.
Oh, really?
No, you got to cut some things. Maybe not that one.
Yeah, we'll miss the Trump bubble thing, whatever. That was that Trump or was that Daredevil? Yeah, it's on Daredevil. Really.
That was Trump.
Daredevil.
That was Trump. If you want to be brave, you got to be brave. That's our final thought there. That's the final thought for Tim. Daredevil. Be brave.
Man without fear. That's awesome. Okay. My final thought then is I'm going to go right back to Lethal Weapon. Look, of course. Why not? So just so you guys know, you have to go watch it and then stay and watch the credits. Stay like you're in the theater. Stay. Just stay on your couch and watch the credits because they actually had their own theme song. Lethal Weapon. They say they sing the song. He's a lethal weapon.
I don't remember that. We got to play that at some point.
Almost beyond.
Do you remember that, Siaka?
Corny.
No, not at all.
I'm telling you, almost beyond corny. But they sing it. He's a lethal weapon. Da, da, da. That was so good, man. So love it. So good.
See, Tatum, this is something that just for you could have given that to us earlier on, so we play it right now and go out on the song. That's hilarious.
Throw that in the edit. Yeah, why not? Oh,
I love that you know that too.
Yeah,
that's so awesome. Curveball.
All right, guys, that was a fun show. That is our show for today. Thank you for joining us. We are the new Hollywood for Free Thinkers, where being creative doesn't mean you need to sacrifice wholesome ideals. Look, where freedom and family, there are a good thing, all right? And where you can be a well-rounded and healthy creative working in the new Hollywood. Again, if you're not yet a member of the database, sign up for free on our website, hollywoodforfreedom.com. Our strength is in our numbers, so please join the movement. And remember, don't trust big tech. I don't care what they're saying. Don't trust them. Find us on Rumble and X, where we can speak freely of censorship. We are also on Apple Podcasts as well. Click on those links now and join us every week, Mondays, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. Thank you guys for being here. Thanks, Tim. Thanks, Siaka, my co-host on the show. Appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. You guys are the lethal weapons of this show. Let me just say it. New shows dropping every Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. Until next time, Galatians 5:13.